Today I am going to show you a couple of different ways to make fondant jack-o'-lanterns as cupcake toppers and then additions to cakes with your 3D. We're going to be using the orange fondant that we colored in the last video, the black, and the green. And then I'm going to add in a little bit of the brown. For this, we're going to show you two different ways. We're going to use a pumpkin cutter with a leaf, and then just a standard, everyday, small canning ring. This is a really handy tool. It's from Dollar Tree, just a scraper. Really comes in handy when you're doing this. We're going to need some Crisco to make things a little greasy, and a regular butter knife, last but not least, a rolling pin. We start by just taking a ball of your orange. We're gonna make it kind of into a pretty flat, fat length. And then we're gonna take some brown, really skinny. Again, just make it into a nice tube and place it right on top there. And then rolling pin, flatten it out so that it is the size of your cookie cutter. And if it starts sticking and getting yucky like this, just take a little bit of your grease, wipe it on there, go again. See, it's sticking right there, so I just need a little bit more. At this stage, you're going to want to see if you can get it off of your mat. I usually just go ahead and flip it over to make sure that once I cut something out, I can actually get it off and transfer it. You're just going to take your cookie cutter. The brown is going to go where the stem is, and the orange is going to be the body of it. You're just going to push down, shake it a tiny bit. It's that simple. And we're going to do the same thing with your canning lid. Oops, I didn't make it quite big enough. I'm gonna roll this out. We want more orange on your canning lid. Just an itsy bitsy tiny bit of brown. I don't know if you can see that at the top. Shake it around. You see we got just a little bit of that brown up there. Now, if you're gonna make a whole bunch of them, what I would do at this point is I would literally just break these two apart so I could roll them back into a ball and reuse this fondant so you're not wasting anything. The brown will just get it, even if you've got some on the back, it's not gonna matter. It's just gonna turn into a really nice fall color. Put it back in your plastic bag so it doesn't dry out. And we're going to just take your regular butter knife and literally make your face like you would on any jack-o'-lantern. So just using the actual tip of the butter knife, not rocking it or anything. We're just gonna take and pop those out. You do not have to be perfect at this stage. See how I've got a bunch of gunk in there? And we're just going to make smile. And at the top here, I'm just going to kind of make one tooth, little smile. It's just a really crazy little pumpkin guy. Okay. And this is where the scraper comes in handy, because now that I've pushed it down, it's going to have a little bit more stickiness to the mat. So like I said, you don't have to be perfect here, because now you can just come in with your fingers and smooth all of those edges and make them exactly the way you want it. You can add a tooth if you want. Okay, so currently we've got this little guy right here. We're gonna put this on parchment paper, and we're going to do almost the same thing. We're gonna do almost the same thing on the one that we used our canning lid, but this time we're just gonna take and pinch. See how I'm just taking that brown right there? And all I'm doing is right where the brown and the orange meet, I'm just gonna pinch it, and it immediately turns into a stem. It was that simple. Same thing, we can go ahead and just cut the eyes out of this guy. And whatever kind of face you want them to have, you can give them. I like happy jack-o'-lanterns. And again, it does not have to be perfect in any way, because you can smooth that out very easily with your finger. You can see it's kind of sticking a little bit. So take the scraper and just kind of fling it up a little bit, and it will easily peel right off. We can smooth these edges. And now to get the 3D look, we're gonna take the black, roll it out, and put it behind this so that it automatically has black eyes and mouth, and you do not have to overthink your cutting. And this is the marshmallow fondant that we made in the first video. So if you want to go look at that, it's really easy to do. Same roller, and we're not even worried if it's big or small. We just want it just enough to where we can cut out where the face is gonna be. So we want it in the end to be smaller than our pumpkins that we made. So this is as big as my pumpkin, so I know for a fact that I'm going to need something smaller than this. So I'm just gonna cut that. That's the shape that I have to be inside for my pumpkin to go. So I'm just gonna take and cut a circle inside the cookie cutter shape. Not perfect in any way. It is really jaggedy. We're gonna take now this guy, and the magic is as simple as that. He now has a black mouth and eyes. If you feel like getting even fancier, you can take your green, roll it out, now in the last video I showed you how to color this. We kept it, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, we kept it not quite fully mixed so that it's already got some lines and some definition to it. Makes it look really cool. I'm going to use the leaf cutter for this one. If you do not have a leaf cutter, then you can just go ahead and take your butter knife and make a really simple leaf shape. So and it will just be just as cute. I'm just going to take and put some lines on here like you would see out in the forest on those leaves. And there you go. And this guy here will do the same thing. We're just going to put a leaf line right down the center. And we're just going to go right to the tip of each one of those bumps. And it just gives it a little bit more definition. And just put this leaf right on your pumpkin. If you want, you can come back through, roll it out into your little snail shape, stretch it a little bit, just kind of do like a curly Q, because all pumpkins seem to always have curly Qs. Put it right on there, right to your leaf, break it off. You're going to take this, put it on your parchment paper, let it sit out completely uncovered for a day or two, and it will harden up and be really easy to put on top of any cupcake, and you will be the life of the party. So let's go ahead and do the other one real quick. So this is the one that we used with the mason lid. So I'm again just going to take that black and move this stuff out of the way. Roll it out. Use the lid as my guide because I know I have to be inside this circle in order to only get the black there. Let's kind of cut this a little bit. And take this guy, lay him right over the top, push him down a little bit. At this point, if you want to, you can just take your butter knife again, and any jagged things you don't like, just go ahead and clean it up. Just push them together. And you can make it perfect. You can stretch it at this time, so if you like something different, you can do. Real easy. Same thing, this is the leaf that we just simple cut. We're gonna lay it across there. If you want definition, you can fold it up a little bit. Give him a little curly Q. Go ahead and put this one on parchment paper and let it sit out in room temperature on the counter for a day or so until they're nice and hard, and you have perfect pumpkin toppers.